backwards move we're going to work on is called backward swizzles. We're going to start with our feet parallel, knees bent, hands out in front, and turn those toes in. We're then going to push our toes out and then squeeze your heels together. You want to make sure your feet don't just keep going out. You're going to end up in a pretty uncomfortable position. Most of us can't quite get down in the splits. So once they get just past your shoulders, you want to turn your heels in and pull your feet together. Let me show you that again. Hands out, feet parallel, knees bent, turn your toes in, push out, and then squeeze together. You're going to activate your glutes and help your heels come together. That's a backward swizzle. Once you've got that motion down once, we can repeat it. Let me show you what that looks like. Push out, squeeze in, push out, squeeze in, push out, squeeze in, and you have your backward swizzles. So when you're going backwards, you want to be careful that you have your posture or your balance in the right place. If you lean back, you can fall backwards, and that can cause head injuries, and of course we want to avoid that. And if you lean forwards, you're going to dig those toe picks into the ice, and when your toe picks go in the ice, you're going to immediately stop. So instead, we're going to have our weight fairly even over our feet, but actually slightly forward on the balls of the foot. If you know where the ball of the foot is, it's that soft pad right where your toes connect. If you try rocking from heel to toe, you'll notice that there's a curve right under that section of your foot. We call that the rocker, and that's where you want to balance going backwards. So you have your posture nice and low with your feet just slightly forward on the ball of your foot, and that's going to help propel you backwards as you glide. All right, once you have your backward swizzles pretty comfortable and you've gotten around the ice pretty well with that, you're going to want to learn how to isolate one foot to the other. So we're going to start again in our basic posture with our knees bent, but this time we're going to shift our head and our hip over to our gliding foot. So your balance is on one foot. You're going to use the other foot, for now I'm using my right foot, and you're going to make like a C, all right? So one foot's gliding and the other foot is making a curve. And this is how you're going to isolate one foot from the other. So we go push with one foot. And then we're going to shift our hip and our head over to the other side and push. So you continue shifting your weight from one side to the other. This move we generally call a half swizzle. A whole swizzle is like the shape of a lemon, and a half swizzle is like a D, a capital letter D, all right? So you want to practice this and get used to moving your weight from side to side and isolating, having one foot move and then the other foot move. Once this is more comfortable, then we're going to go into what we call backward stroking, a full backward stroking motion. Let me show you that next. Okay, so for backward stroking, we're actually going to do just what we did with the half swizzles, but we're going to lift our foot through. So you have your half swizzle motion, which we just learned. You're going to push out, but instead of just shifting your weight, your foot actually comes through. Push, lift through, push, lift through, push, lift through. If you're having a hard time with that lift, go back to the half swizzles, and you can also just practice some backward one-foot glides and try and get your balance on those. If you're practicing backward one-foot glides, you want to keep your head and your hip over your gliding foot, all right, and that's going to help with the balance issues. Let me show you those backward stroking motion one more time. So again, we start in our basic posture, hands in front, knees bend, weight over the ball of the foot like I told you about. You're going to isolate one foot, push it out, lift it through in front, shift your weight to the other side, isolate the other foot, push through to the front. And again, every time we just try and line our hip and our head up with the gliding foot. And there you have backward stroking. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. And of course, like and subscribe.